Today, I'm going to use that as my arm. I recommend that you have a block handy so that you can use it as a prop if you need it. You might not need it, but if you've got something, even a cushion will do, because we will be on our knee to release our quad. So if you have a cushion or a block, that might be useful. I'm going to start with the feet a hip's distance apart, looking slowly up to the ceiling, drawing the chin in, looking down at the floor, up to the ceiling, down to the floor. One more time. And then side to side, looking over one shoulder and then the other. And as you do this, make sure that your chin is pulling gently in so the back of the neck is nice and long. So we're not trying to push the chin towards the shoulder. We're trying to rotate over the neck. Great, and then we're going to take the ear to the shoulder on one side, keeping that chin gently in and the back of the neck long and the shoulders nice and relaxed. Just two more of these. And then roll one shoulder, then the other back, give them a little bit of movement, and we'll go the other way. Great, take some circles of both. Take the elbows up and over. Let the chest open and close with the movement. And then take straight arms up and around. 2, 3, one more time and then reverse. Bring it forward. 1, 2, 3. One more, then we'll make it elbows. 2, 3, and then just the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Now let's find out how our pelvis and our low back feel today. We're going to scoop forward and then tilt back. And when we're scooping forward, we're pulling the pubic bone up towards the rib cage. And when we scoop back, we're just trying to lengthen the pubic bone away. So pubic bone comes up, and then we keep the low back long as we send the pubic bone away. So careful you don't crunch into your low back when you tip. Let's get side to side, have a little tuck, a little hip dip. You can let your shoulders get involved. 7. And we'll start to circle the hips in one direction, make it nice and generous. You can add the wrists as well. Ooh. Let's take that the other way. So the wrists and the hips. Good, you've changed direction of the wrists as well. 2 more. We're going to arch the back, lift the chest, bend the knees, take it down low. Once you're looking down at the ground, curl the ribs in, roll up slow. Shoulders roll back as we fold over the hip creases. And then we pull the ribs in as we come up. Take 2 more of these. Last one. Good, now standing at the top, I'm going to roll the shoulders back, then roll them forward, chin on the chest, ribs pulling in. Slowly slide the hands down the insides of the legs until they're touching down on the ground. Bend your knees as much as you need to get both hands down. Bend the legs and then stretch them out. Now, when you're bending the legs, be really conscious that your knees are pointing out to the 3rd toes. Cool, be careful that they're not pointing in towards the big toes. And walking your hands over to one side, we're going to bend the opposite knee. Feel your bottom shift in that direction. And switch your hands to the other side and bend the opposite knee. Put both hands in the center, take one hand up to the ceiling, follow from the elbow to the fingertip, then bring it down. Switch sides. If you need to put your hands on a block to make this more accessible, please be my guest. Last one. And then grab the elbows, swing from side to side. Really try and release the ribs, release the neck, release the crown of the head down to the ground. Drop your hands, soften the knees, and slowly roll up to stand. Now, I hope we're feeling a little bit more awake in our bodies so that we can start our first exercise today. This drill is going to build. So the first thing we're going to work on is our split squat. squat. We're going to take our left toe back, so the right knee is still behind the ankle. You might need to take it back a lot for this to work. We're going to tuck the tailbone under and lower down towards the ground. Your belly is sweeping in and the spine is long and straight. So we're going to come up and down. 2 more times. Then it's going to get dynamic. So from here, we're going to bring this back leg through into a knee lift. Boom. Take it back into the split squat. Bring it up into the knee lift. 2 more. Hold that knee lift. We're going to flex the foot, take the leg back and fold at the hip until our back is flat. Woo. Bring it back through to the knee lift. You can point the toe. Flex the foot, drive it back until the back is long and flat. Can you feel this butt cheek telling you it's awake now? Point the toe, bring it through. Try and keep your hips really stable. Flex it, take it back. Bring it back to the start, lift the knee. You got 1 more of these. Now we're going to lift that knee up. We're going to press it into the leg that's next to it so the knees and the ankles touch. Bring the arms up by the ears and then pull the ribs in as you sit into chair pose. Nice. Now really load the heels here. Feel the inner thighs pull back through the hips. So the inner thighs pull back through the hips, holding for 5, 4, 3. Once we come up real slow. So we come up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle the arms down, hands on the hips. Let's do this on the other side. I'm just going to straighten my mat up a little bit. Cool, so we're going to step back into our split squat. Coming down. So we're trying to keep the spine long and straight. So the other leg now, 4. We're going to bring the knee forward, boom, and then take it back into the split squat. 3 more of these. Good, hold that knee at the top. Flex the foot. Send the heel back, long, straight back. Bring it all the way through, back up. Try and keep this hip and this hip connected to each other and facing forward or down when your back is flat. You got 1 more of these. Good, slide the foot down the inside of the leg so the knees and the ankles are together. The arms come up, pull the ribs in, load the heels as you sit, spine long and straight. Really feel the sides of the waist, lengthen through the armpits to the fingertips. Come down deeper if you can, loading into the heels, squeezing into the thighs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those hands down, step the feet apart. We're going to slide the hands down the fronts of the thighs, so round the spine forward, chin on the chest. Come all the way slowly down to the floor. If you need to bend your knees to get your hands to the ground, please be my guest. We're going to, from here, just let the head hang, nod yes, shake no. Bring the hands halfway back up the thighs. Then, from the tip of the tail, lengthen 1 vertebrae at a time, forward through the spine, halfway lift, breathe in, roll the shoulders back, breathe out. Get a little bit longer, a bit more lifted on the inhale, and slide the hands back down onto the ground as we exhale. Nod the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Slide the hands up. Lengthen, 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 big breath in. And then coming down, hands onto the ground. We're going to step 1 foot at a time back into a plank. Don't worry, we're only here for 10. 9, get that bum down, spine long, neck long. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees on the floor. Inhaling to arch into our cow. Exhaling to curl into cat. Keep going with that, arching and curling. Just gonna point my camera down at the ground now. You look amazing, guys. Noticing how the spine feels. Noticing how your hands feel in contact with the ground. If you spread your fingers and claw gently into your mat, that will make your grip a little better. And then we'll we'll start to circle the ribs from our curl. So taking the ribs all the way through in one direction. You can let your head follow that movement. On Tuesday night in static pole, Sarah May introduced me to a new form of torture, a V-snap on the side, a side crunch. And I can tell you all the little muscles around the sides of my waist and the tops of my hips are screaming right now. Let's go the other way. And I only did 8 on each side. It's the magic of new exercises, isn't it? All right, pausing at the center. Making sure your knees stay right under your hips, your hands right under your shoulders. We're going to take the right hand to the base of the skull. Now this arm needs to be horizontal to begin with, yeah? Don't leave it lazy and don't over open. Keep it horizontal to begin. We're going to try and keep the pelvis still as we push down through the left arm, taking the right elbow up as high as you can, keeping the pelvis still. And then we're going to wrap that right elbow all the way down, keeping the pelvis still, so you'll feel your left ribs start to engage as the right elbow touches the left arm. So we're not dropping, we're going to stay the same height. Open up as you breathe in, twisting through the waist. Exhale, slowly bringing it down and across. Up and open on the inhale. Down and across on the exhale. Do 2 more. Try and open a little bit more if you can, Anita. Get that elbow all the way up to the ceiling. Yes, beautiful. Really cool. Someone's getting puppy dog kisses. And then that hand comes down. We're going to switch over to the other side. So the left hand is going to come to the base of the skull. It's just the fingertips. Elbow and posture is set open and horizontal. Pressing through the right hand, rotate up, 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 up. Make sure the chin and the eyes follow the movement, and then slowly curl it across. That's it. Keep pushing through that right arm. Resist the urge to dip and bend the elbow. Breathing in, opening up. Breathing out across and down. Up and open on the inhale. Across and down on the exhale. 2 more. Try and keep that right shoulder set away from the ear. Bring it all the way up. And then exhale the left hand down onto the ground. We're going to roll the hands back up the thighs until we're on our knees now. You can do a couple of things here if your knees are uncomfortable at all. You can roll up the back of your mat so that your knees are on that. That looks like this. I'll just show you. So you roll it up, roll it over, and you can sit your knees onto the edge of this, and it's much more comfortable. Should also keep you a little bit more stable. I need you to squeeze your bottom and really anchor your tailbone down towards the knees, feeling a straight line through the hips, the fronts of the thighs and the ribs, all the way to the shoulders. Bring the arms out to the horizontal and then draw them back towards the center. Now, sometimes when we draw the shoulders back, either the elbows bend or the ribs flare. So as we draw the shoulders back, keep knitting into the ribs and keep the elbows fully extended without being locked out. We're going to come back in a straight line, and I need you to make sure it stays a straight line. Good, and then to the top of the movement. Inhale it back, keep the arms horizontal. Exhale to the top of the movement. Now I want you to protect your neck. Keep the chin tucked in, the back of the neck nice and long. Inhale it back. You guys are great. Exhale to the top of the movement. Really nice straight lines. 2 more. Hold back on this one. Stay back there. We're going to open the arms, palms facing to the ceiling, and then close them again. Come to the top. Open the arms, palms face to the ceiling, and close to the top. Can we add on? As we open the arms, palms face to the ceiling, we're going to pulse those arms up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn them forward and close to the top. This time, coming back in the straight line. Keep the arms facing forward. Pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close them all the way up. This time, coming back. Palms face down. Pulse down, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the arms, come back to the top. Last one, bring it back in a straight line. Open the arms, flip the palms around, squeeze those shoulder blades together. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the palms forward, close them, and bring it all the way up. You can take your hands down onto the ground. We're going to tuck the toes underneath us now, keeping your feet the same distance apart as your sits bones. You might need to physically spread your toes underneath you, if you can see that I'm doing that, because my little toes are hammer toes and they like to get stuck underneath me. So I've got to fan them out. We need to sit with our sit bones directly down on our heels with the toes tucked under us. So we're doing a little bit of work stretching out the soles of the feet. It's particularly good for our fascia. And just let the shoulders relax. Feel the ribs pulling in. Feel the belly relax. And crown of the head drawing up to the ceiling. Try and relax the face. The intensity of this one goes up really quickly, so try and hang in there and just stay relaxed and choose to experience this rather than run from it. Because, you know, the more often we can come into this place, the more tolerable it will become. We're just here for another 10 seconds. And if this really hurts, try not to wear shoes so often. Use your feet more. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands forward. Now we turn the feet over and tap out the tops of the ankles. Tap that out quite vigorously. Okay. I'm going to unroll the back of the mat. It's time to get into our downward dog. So coming onto all fours, find a long spine with a breath in. Tuck the toes and keep the knees bent as you press back to down dog on your breath out. Go for a little pedal here. Whee, my calf muscles are telling me some stories today. Make sure that you're pushing down equally through the index knuckle and the outer edge of the pinky finger, and really pressing the earth away. We'll try to wrap the armpits forward. See if both heels can lift as you breathe in, and if the outer edges of the heels can sink low as you breathe out. Tailbone all the way up and back on the inhale. Good, keep pulling the front ribs in as you exhale. You can tap your big toes together so they meet in the center at the back of the mat. We're going to keep the right foot flexed today as the heel rises 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. We're going to hold up on 1. So we've got really square hips. We're now going to bend the knee and let the hips rotate open to the side. Hold that there. Try and stay square through the shoulders. For 5, knee a little bit higher. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now look through your hands. We want to get that right foot all the way to the top of the mat. So drag it past your nose and swing it through. Boom. All the way to the top. Good. Keeping your hips buoyant here. Pull the ribs in. Engage the shoulders, long spine, big breath in. We're going to straighten the front leg and then bend the knee. Keep the heel grounded. So we're trying to keep that back leg locked in position as we straighten and bend the front knee. 3, 4. Hold at the top. Arch the back, come onto the fingertips. If you've got your block, if you need it for your hands, you can use it here. Arch the back, breathe in. Now curl your belly off the thigh as you breathe out. You don't need to extend the leg fully. Just as much as feels good. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curl. One more time. Inhale, open the chest, look forward. And exhale, pull the belly off the thigh, look back at your big toe. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Bend into the front knee. You can sneak that left toe a little further back if it feels good. Your left hand is on the ground as wide as your shoulder. We're going to take the pinky finger of the right arm up towards the ceiling. Good. Really open the shoulders. Keep the left hip buoyant, the right thigh pulling back. If we drop into that left hip, it can put torsion through the sacrum. So we want to keep your SI joint nice and stable. Take a big inhale here. As we exhale, pinky finger comes down, thumb and index finger circle up. Breath in, back and down, the breath out. Up and over, back and down. Now, once we come up to the top, reverse the direction. Sweep it forward and then up. Try and stay really open through the chest, long through the neck, and stable in your position. Last one, bring the hand down onto the floor. Find a long spine, breathe in, and sneak that left knee down onto the ground as we breathe out. So I'm going to push my left ankle down through the floor, tuck my tailbone under to lift up through my spine. I might feel more comfortable if my right foot is a little bit further forward. This is a lot for your hip flexor so early. Just roll the shoulders a little bit. We're now going to bring our body weight forward. See if your hands can reach the ground again. They won't be as far forward as they were before because we're engaging those arms. Tap the back toes underneath you. Now, if your knee is uncomfortable, please put a cushion underneath it or roll up the back of the mat. We're going to keep our body super still as we squeeze this back butt cheek and take our heel to our butt. 5, 4, 3, try and really kick it nice and high. 2, keep it flexed. 1, hold it up there. Can we bring our hands onto our knee? Can we lift our chest up? Don't let that heel drop. Keep this hamstring contracting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the foot down. Now maybe that hip can be a little bit more comfy. Extend the arms up towards the ceiling. Take a big breath in. Take a lovely loose circle back and down as we breathe out. The body can reach forward as the arms come up. Inhale. Take them back down and around on your exhale. Do that 2 more times. Take the hands up. Tuck the back toes. And then extend the front leg. It's a lot for your knee, I know. Bring the hands down onto the hip, lift the front toes, extend the leg. So we want to make sure that this back hip is right on top of the knee. Then we need to pull the front thigh. So this right thigh pulls back into the hip socket as the left hip spirals forward. Straight back, inhale and fold all the way forward. Just keep the back straight. Don't think about taking it too low. I want you to feel like there's a little pin holding your shoulder blades together. Exhale it back up, squeezing your butt, and inhale it forward, long straight back. Exhale it up. Two more. Last one. All right, you can slide the hands along the leg until they touch the ground, wherever that might be, feel appropriate for you. And now you can untuck the back toes and pop the ankle down on the floor. Wrap the arms back, lift the chest, breathe in, and slowly fold along the leg as you breathe out. Rise up again on your inhale. Fold in on your exhale. 2 more of these. Coming all the way back up, we're now going to turn the big toe in as the hip lifts up, and then turn the little toe out as we wrap that hip under. We've got 3 more of these. In and out is 1, 2, 1. All right, point the toe, and we're going to sit all the way back onto the heel of the left foot. Now, maybe your elbows can come to the floor here. If they can, that's great. If you're still on hands, that's great too. I want you to feel from the tailbone to the top of the head, your spine lengthens. Breathe in, and then keep it straight as you pitch forward, breathing out. And we're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, hips and hamstrings. We have started work on you. Bring that foot back underneath your sit bones. Bring your hands forward and tuck your toes. You might need to spread those toes wide. We're going to try this a second time without the knees supported. Good. Should be a lot more comfortable now. Great. We're here for just 20 seconds, seeing if we can relax our body, seeing if we can notice the intensity but not respond to it. Stay nice and chill. 5, 4, 3, 2, keep breathing. 1. Take the hands forward, find a long spine, breathe in, press back to downward dog, breathing out. Just find your alignment here, maybe walk it out so the legs feel similar. Notice whatever it is that you notice. And then when keeping the hips really square, you can step your big toes together at the back of the mat. Make sure you're looking at those big toes. That's the correct alignment of the head here. And then the left heel is going to rise 8 times, keeping those hips really square. 2, keep looking back at the feet, keep pushing through the arms. 4, really claw with the fingertips. I'm going to hold on 8. Up at the top on 8. Beautiful. So we've got square hips here. I want you to rotate the bottom hip to turn the top knee out and then bring the heel back. So that actually happens at the bottom hip. We stack the top hip over it by squeezing the bottom butt cheek. Keep lengthening that knee up to the ceiling. Stay nice and square through the shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Look to the hands. Take that foot all the way to the top of the mat. All right, here we go. Nice long line. We're going to lengthen the front leg and then come back down. Lengthen the leg and lower. Keeping that back hip nice and buoyant. Good. Keep it extended. Arch the back. Curl the spine. Arching. Hips really square here. Arch. Curl. One more time. Come down into that lunge, keeping the right hip buoyant. Press the right hand down. Take the left arm all the way up to the ceiling. So find that stack of shoulder over shoulder. And if your hand doesn't feel comfortable pointing forward, turn it out. It's way more comfy for your wrist. It's way more comfy for your shoulder to turn that hand out. So do what is comfortable here, as long as you can keep that right hip lifted. Neck is long, head is lifted. Circle the arm back and down on your exhale, forward and up on the inhale. We've got 3 more of these. Take a moment, find that stack again, find your alignment, and then take it the other way. One more time. Open at the top, and then bring that hand down. So I've got this nice long line from the fingertips all the way to the top of the head. Lift the chest, lift the belly off the thigh, and then slowly take the back knee down. All right, so we're going to, I don't remember if we did this with the hand on the knee or the fingers on the floor, but it doesn't really matter. As long as that foot is flexed, we're going to kick our own butt. I'm going to stay here, setting the shoulders back. Up with the heel, then tap the toe down. Nothing else moves. 3, 4. Hold it at the top. Good. Now I'm going to bring my hands up onto my knee. Good. Keep pushing that back hip forward, pulling the left thigh back. And then point your toe, press the top of the ankle down through the floor. Maybe that leg can go a little further back now. Just make sure the hips face forward and the pubic bone is gently lifting up. Both arms up to the ceiling. I want us to stretch all the way through the sides of the waist. Lift the ribs up out of the hips. Make sure that front knee is turning out to your third toe and not rolling in towards the big toe. That's better. Take a few circles back. Let your body follow the movement. Reach the arms all the way up. Bring them down onto the hip. Pressing up onto that flexed foot, and you can tuck the back toe under. Squaring the hips up here, we find a long spine. Squeeze the bottom and the belly on the exhale. Fold over the left hip crease as you breathe in. Squeeze the bottom to come back up as you breathe out. Now, I really want you to keep those shoulders in position. Don't let their position change. We're broad through the collarbones and the shoulders are set, really steady. Give me one more of these. Inhale forward. Exhale up. Slide the hands down. Arch the back, breathe in. Curl the spine. Arching. Curling. 2 more. Last one. Find the arch. We're going to take the big toe across, lifting the hip, and then take it all the way in the other direction. This hamstring is so much happier to turn out than my other hamstring. And I wonder if it's because there's not another arm blocking it. I feel like my right leg doesn't want to do it, but my left leg's more than happy to. One more time. All right, and we're going to point the toe and take it all the way back, sitting on our heel. Really try and point your foot here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're not going back into downward dog. That might be great news for some of you. We're going to step that foot forward, tuck the back toes, and then make sure both of our toes are facing in and our heels are pressing out. We want to really push down through the little toe side, then the ball of the foot and the heel, and feel the arches of the feet energize the inner thighs. You can take your hands now and turn them around away from the toes, walk them through as far as you can. Crown of the head is dropping straight down towards the ceiling. Keep breathing into the back. And then extend the arms and look forward. Look forward as far as you can. We're going to turn the hands over, bring them all the way through and up. So we hover, we're really reaching the fingertips away from the toes, and then pop the fingertips down onto the ground. I want you to look forward to the fingertips as you breathe in and push your heart towards the floor as you breathe out. So we're trying to find a back bend here, opening up the shoulders in our wide-legged forward fold. Okie dokie. Bring the hands back under the shoulders, find a flat back as you breathe in. We're going to lift the heels, pop them in and plant them down as we breathe out. So we're now in external rotation and the knees are pointing to the little toes. Pop your hands up on those knees. Elbows are nice and wide. As your tailbone turns down to the heels, lengthen up through the spine. I always feel like I'm about to do a haka here. We're going to start our football chant. Try and get nice and tall. Bring the arms up by the ears, take a nice long spine inhale, and then pulse your tailbone to the ground as we exhale. Good, let's straighten the legs until we're just about almost extended. Breathe in, and then slowly lower down, keeping the arms by the ears as we breathe out. How low can you go? Up on the inhale, and then keep those knees pointing out to the fourth toes as you exhale and lower down. Try and keep the spine long and straight. And we're going to hold down on this one. Bring the arms down in line with the shoulders. Lengthen to the crown of the head as you breathe in. Pulse it down lower as you breathe out. Come on, guys. We're going to sit on our bum. You ready for this? Breathe in. A little bit lower. One more time. Bum on the floor. Try not to move your feet too much. We just want to walk them forward until the toes are at the front of the mat. Good. So we're going to turn towards our right knee. You'll find your shape might be a little bit short. So we need to bring that heel forward until it's in line with the knee. The knee should be at least as wide as the hip, maybe wider. And this back knee might need to move a little further back and the heel will come out in line with the knee. The easier version of this is to twist so that your left hand is on your right knee and your right hand is wide beside the hip. So if you want to take the easier version, rotate to the right. If you want to take the harder version, the hands just come forward onto the fingertips. Cool. Your body has to stay absolutely still as we breathe in, lengthen upwards. Breathe out, lift that left heel. Inhale, tap it down. Don't let your body move. It's just the left heel moving, right? Use your hands to anchor you. If that means rotating to the right, go for it. We got 2 more. 2. That's our internal rotation. Press the heel down, lift the knee. 1. If you've got externally rotated hips, you'll find this one easier. 3, it also depends on your glute strength. 4. 5, we're going to lift that whole knee. This one is so hard to stay still. I'm going to grab onto my shin. 1, 2, 3. Keep your shoulders back. Don't let them become earrings. And 5. Good work. Now taking the hands forward of the knees. I want you to push your tailbone back and down into the ground. Lift the chest as you breathe in. Fold forward as you breathe out. Keep the spine really long and keep the hips away from you. Keep the feet exactly where they are. We're going to roll onto the inside of the right foot and the outside of the left foot. So now we're pausing in the middle. We're going to come all the way over to the other side. I need to move my bum back to get my 90-degree angle here. So I want my left knee just moderately wider than the left hip. The right knee ever so slightly behind the right hip bone. So it's the kneecap is actually in line with the center of the joint and the heel is in line with the kneecap. You can twist this to the left for the easier version with the hands down on the outside of the knee or the knee itself or the ground, or come forward onto fingertips to make it a little harder. Long spine, breathe in, flex foot rises 1, taps down. We've got 5 of these, 2. Lifting that heel, 3, 4, 5. Heel presses down into the floor. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift the whole leg. Here we go. 1. Oh, try not to let it come forward like I just did. 2. Keep the body nice and still. 3, 4, 5. And we are done. Place the hands, lift the chest. Tailbone is scooping back and down. Take a breath in and then fold with the breath out. I like to push into my foot here. It helps me get the right amount of stretch. Relaxing the face. And rolling back up again. All right, turning back to the center. We're going to bring our feet together. We're going to start with the hips and the heels really close. Cool. And if you want to just rock from side to side for a bit to feel into your groin and your adductors, please be my guest. So our hands are wrapped around our toes. Our elbows are situated near our knees on our thighs. Wherever that is going to depend on your lever length and how long your arms and legs are. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, take a breath in. We're going to push all the weight down to the right as we breathe out. Good. Now just look at your left knee. Take an inhale. Blow it down. This is the 3 little pigs house and you are the big bad wolf. Go again. Nice, hold it here. Now I want you to keep the same distance between the legs as we rock back to the center. Just check in with where you're at. Keep the same distance as we slowly move over to the left. Good, so our weight is down through the left arm. We're gonna have another go at huff and puff and blow the house down. Take a breath in. One more time. All right, check in where you are, come back to the center. Yeah, keep pressing down and out through the elbows, keep lifting up through the chest. You're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release the feet. Just circle your wrists, roll the shoulders. We're going to slide the feet forward into a diamond shape now. I'm going to move my bottom a little bit further back and make sure the flesh is out from underneath your sit bones. Now, if you struggle with forward bending, so bending over the hip creases, keeping a long torso, get your block or your cushion and pop it under your tailbone, and it's going to really help your body travel forwards by helping keep your tailbone back. Hands, they're going to scoop underneath your shins and wrap around the tops of the feet. Shoulders are going to press out. Elbows are going to press out. Lengthen the spine, breathe in, and then fold forward, aiming the forehead to the feet as you breathe out. Keep pressing out through the arms. Now, the first 3 breaths might feel a bit stiff, like you're not going anywhere, but I encourage you, after 3 breaths, to lengthen the spine again as you breathe in and aim a little deeper as you breathe out. Release the arms, keep the head forward. We're going to take the hands out long and straight now. Arch the back as you breathe in and see if you can reach further away and fold as you breathe out. Keep the arms extending now, bring them in close to the ears. Inhale, length. Exhale, squeeze. And then inhale slowly up to sit. Beautiful. Bring those hands down by your hips. We're going to sit in our straddle now. Keep your legs a little shake. They've just arrived here. So a good straddle needs a couple of things to really work hard here. The alignment of your pelvis is one of them. If it's difficult for you to sit with your hands at least in line with your knees in front of your shoulders, get that cushion under your butt. All right, so my knees are gently spiraling back. My toes are gently spiraling back. I'm going to tip my tailbone under tip my pubic bone under by lifting my tailbone and squeezing my butt cheeks. Also, there's a squeeze in the bum going on up here. Then we're going to lift the pubic bone up into the ribs. So you'll feel your tailbone scoop under and your belly hollow, and then you'll feel your pubic bone roll under the front body lengthening. Scoop, lengthen. And when you lengthen, you should feel your bum really work hard, the top parts of your butt cheeks. Scoop, and if you feel like you're humping the floor, you're doing a great job. Perfect. And scoop and lengthen. Good. Now let's find halfway in between those 2 places. So the sit bones are nice and heavy on the floor. Bring your hands out wide so you're nice and comfortable. We're going to bring our chest towards the right leg and then circle it down to the ground, over to the left and up. Circle it over. Keep the elbows and the collarbones really broad here. Shoulders a long way from your ears and the knees and the toes spiraling back. Let's go the other way. One more time. Good. Now, right hand is going to slide across to the left. And I want you to see if you can push your whole forearm through the floor. If you can't fold that far, get the cushion so you can push your forearm down through something. We're going to circle the left arm over the ear and rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. Keep the palm facing down. Keep lots of space through the neck. Try not to let your head do this. Try to lengthen the neck and draw the chin in as you rotate up towards the ceiling. Try and extend that arm all the way across to the right side, all the way across. 3. And then circle it back down. Replace the right arm with the left, pushing down through the floor. We're going to sweep the right arm over the ear, rotate the chest gently towards the ceiling, keeping that palm facing down, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And the chin is aiming for your armpit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that back down through the center, lifting up. We're going to keep the tailbone really heavy. Feel the ribs lift up off the hips, rotate towards the right legs. We're going to twist through the torso. Bring the hands down by the sides. I want that left hip to stay pushing back. Chest comes up as we breathe in. Fold over the hip as we breathe out. Stay here. Can the hands come a little further forward now? Can we inhale, lift up? Exhale, bend the elbows, fold in deeper. Stay here. Can the hands come a little further forward? Keep that left hip back. Inhale, the chest comes up. Keep looking at the little toe on your right foot. And exhale, fold in. Can the arms come a little bit further forward? Now you can relax the upper body, but keep those feet flexed and spiraling back. Now I want you to see if you can maintain the same distance from the floor with your nose as you walk your hands across to the left. A little sneaky walk of your hands at whatever distance feels appropriate. I like to pretend to be a little bit of a spider here. And then sitting all the way up, anchoring that right hip down. So again, we start in the center, both hips anchored, and we rotate through the waist. Bring the hands to the floor, arch the back, breathe in, bend the elbows to tip forward, right hip pressing down as we breathe out. Slide the hands through wherever they'll go. Lift the chest and inhale, and fold in as we exhale. Stay. Slide the hands away. Lift up. Fold in. Stay. Slide. Holding here. Relax the upper body. Keep the right hip down. Keep this toes spiraling back. Slowly coming up. All right, it's time. Oh, sorry, come back down. I forgot to sneak around to the right. So we're going to try and keep our nose the same distance from the ground with a long back and our shoulders back as we walk across to the right. And slowly bring it up. Now we're going to go to the center. We're going to try and keep lengthening the tailbone back. So when we come to the middle, we do need to tuck that pubic bone underneath us. So I want you to feel the pubic bone roll down to the floor, but keep long through the low back. You do activate your upper butt to tip forward this much. Cool, don't worry about the hands so much just yet. Keep the chest up, keep the chest open, and see if you can just use your pelvis to tip to pull your body weight forward. Nice. So tipping your body weight forward with the pelvis. Now take the hands out long and straight, keeping the chest up. Spiral the toes back. Really energize your heels this time. Lift the heart, inhale. Bend the elbows, keeping the spine straight as you exhale. Stay for a breath in. Extend the arms as you breathe out. Again, lift the chest, inhale. Bend the elbows, exhale. Stay for a breath in. Slide the arms forward as you breathe out. Lift the chest, inhale. Bend the elbows, exhale. Stay for a breath in. Slide the arms as you breathe out. And just take one more breath in and relax the upper body. Staying here for a few breaths, making sure those heels are really energized, the upper thigh is really squeezing, so the back of the knee can press down through the floor. And then slide the hands back under the shoulders, then take them wide. I want your elbows and your collarbones really broad as we keep the spine nice and long, the chest open as we rise. All right, we're going to point the feet and tap out the backs of the knees. Bring the legs a little bit closer now. Doesn't have to be such a wide straddle. Interlace the fingers behind the back with the palms facing away. Lift the chest up as you breathe in, fold over the hips as you breathe out. Now I want you to lift the arms as you inhale, squeeze into the shoulders as you exhale. Try and roll the shoulders back. Don't let them roll forward. So lift the heads of the arms up, Anita, and roll them back. That's it. Chest is rising, fold in. Chest open, fold in. Roll the shoulders back 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. Then inhale, lift them as high as you can. Pulse them up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, release the hands, give your shoulders a shake, shake, shake. All right, these bums have worked so hard today. Let's give them a bit of gratitude. We're going to turn over to our right. Using your hands, extend the left leg back behind you until that knee is facing the floor. Good. Now we want to get really even through the hips. So if you want to prop this hip up, please feel free. Keeping this front foot flexed or at least pointed, the toes pulling back to the knee. Chest is going to come up as we breathe in, fold in as we breathe out. And you can just use your arms as a pillow today. And if it feels good for you, point that left toe, press the ankle down through the ground. I find that the more I press down through the ankle, the better I can pull back through the right hip. So the right hip is pulling back and the left ankle is pulling down. And that takes away any torsion through your SIJ. We're going to add in a little shoulder stretch here. Bring your right arm forward so it's turning in and the elbow is over the wrist. Bring your left arm out to the side. Take a breath in. Now lace that left arm through the gap. The left shoulder comes down onto the ground. The right ear comes down to the ground. Now, if this feels like a lot for you, you're welcome to stay here. If you want to go a little deeper, take your left foot to your butt. Take your right arm to the sky and see if you can find your left foot. Maybe you can't find it, but it's nice to try. My hamstring instantly cramped. There we go. Roll the right shoulder back, really press down through the left shoulder. This one is a lot of stretch. So only go where you need to. Even with the toe pointed and the arm up to the ceiling, you're getting a lot of stretch. All right, bring that right hand back down, face it forward this time, press all the way back up. Sit onto that right hip, come across to the other side. So we're just gonna switch it over to the left. Energize these toes, pull them back to the knee. Tuck the right toes under, keep the knee facing the floor and the heel facing the ceiling so we're square in the hips. Take your time as you make your way down. And once you've found that you're able to stay stable in the hips the same length at both sides of the waist, then you can point your toe and press the ankle through the floor. So that left hip is pulling back and the right ankle is pressing down. Coming in a little deeper now, left hand is going to come out in front of the left knee. Right arm is going to reach long and then thread through that gap. So the right arm is down on the ground. Make sure there's a lot of space between your ear and your shoulder. Be very generous with that. And if you want a little bit more, the right heel comes to the bum and the left arm comes up into the air. You should feel this twist through the waist. We'll make sure the hips are still anchoring to the floor. You're rotating through the ribs, really pushing down through the upper arm on the right side. Releasing out of that, pushing the left hand down through the ground, coming all the way up, sitting on your butt. This one's my favorite. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's the best. It does the best things for me. We are going to do our square stretch to finish off today. So this left heel is in line with the top, right heel for me, the top of the right knee, and the left foot has to come to the outside of the right knee. That's really important that we don't sit it here. You'll lengthen the tendons on the outside of the ankle. Keep the toes really active. And then we're aiming the head of the left kneecap into the arch of the right foot. So see if you can start in the center of this stretch. And for some people, this is really uncomfortable and you can actually get a block beside your foot. I'll just show you what that looks like. So if I find this really hard, I can get the block and move my bones off my leg. Cool, and that would be much more comfortable. I find this a much deeper stretch though. I would rather just have my foot here. Okay, now for this one, we're going to take tricep. So take the right, this is my left leg on top. So I'm taking my right arm up, bending the elbow. Take your left hand on top of the right elbow and make sure you're pulling the rib cage down and lengthening the back of the neck. So the head should press gently back into the arm. Reach forward, long spine, breathe in, and just fold over the hips as you breathe out. And we're going to hold wherever you are right now for 10 seconds. 9, 8, keep pushing your knees apart. 7, 6, 5, 4, maybe you can reach a little longer, a little further for the last 3, 2, 1. Don't come up, release the hands, bring them down onto the ground. Take them wide, really wide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rolling up. Before we go to the other side, we're going to take the left foot closer to the butt, the right foot down onto the ground. And just gently pull, so the right hand is just on the top of the left knee. We're pulling that across to the right ribs as the left hand reaches back. Two more seconds. Great, come back to the center. Bring your legs out, give them a little windmill. We're almost done, guys. I know I'm a little over time, sorry. I'm going to bring the left foot under. Make sure the heel is in line with the top of the knee just to begin. Bring the right foot over. Walk your way into where your knee is aiming for the arch of the foot. Then that left arm's going to come up and overhead. The right arm is going to assist it. We've got a long spine and a breath in and start to tip forward as we breathe out. Keep your weight in the center, keep the spine long and straight. And wherever you are now, we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come out, breathe in and fold. Coming back up, slide the left foot over the right knee, draw the right foot back to the left hip, and use the left hand to pull that right knee over to the left as you spiral to the right. And then stack the knees, roll over and tuck the toes, press back onto the heels. Just take a moment here in this C shape. Pressing the heels down as the hips rise up, nod the head, yes, you feel great. Shake the head, no, any tension left can go. And we roll up through the spine, stacking one vertebrae at a time until we're all the way up. Shoulders rolling back and down. Oh, yes, I was only 1 minute late. That's amazing.